I'll never forget, we had an early case, and I had one of these birthday cards, and, that I was talking. My client and I, we'd done goals and interests, and I had the hubby. The wife needed cash flow, wanted to keep their big house, wanted this car, wanted this situation, wanted the kids' college taken care of, just so. And so had given us a budget. So my guy had worked very, very, very hard to come up with a proposal that addressed all of those concerns. And then on top of that, he was trying to say, I'm sorry, because he had messed up in this marriage. And I know, because I was helping him build it, you know, no, you need to put a little, if you're trying to say you're sorry, let's say you're sorry. And so I helped him build this settlement, and he and I both thought, man, we've done a good job. And so in this meeting, for some bizarre reason, my lawyer on the other side and I, we had a mental health professional, but she had a scheduling difficulty, and we said, well, you know what, we'll go ahead and have this meeting. It's just a financial meeting, you know? This is like the second or third case, okay? So we hand out the birthday card, and my guy is, I thought, in a sweet way, kind of walking through it, and he's about 15 seconds into his spiel, and the wife is looking at this thing, and she looks at him and me and just says like this, and I mean, what do you do with that? You know, she clearly she saw a screw you card, you know, was clearly and visibly angry and upset by what she had seen on the paper. He and I were we were in shock, and we didn't know what to do. You know, the best we did at the moment was kind of name it. Oops, it looks like everybody's upset here. Why don't we take a moment? And we all, you know, and the meeting broke down, and that case eventually settled. But it was really, really hard because we didn't have that neutral in there. Now, I don't know what she would have done exactly, but it had been something better than just run away, you know, or just shut the meeting down. It would have been address that emotion and walk through it so we'd keep talking. So they're invaluable. The reason that my firm is so supportive of collaborative law is not because we're necessarily trying to achieve divorce lawyer sainthood, but we've had, as every big firm like this, and they're all over, you know, Houston, any big city's got a firm like this, and the people that come in and they say, well, I would like to do my case collaboratively, and they're talking to old school trial lawyers. I said, no, you don't. Let me tell you what you need. You need to do this, we need to do that, we ought to do it this way, and blah, blah, blah. And the client will go, well, you didn't understand me. You obviously don't do the collaborative law stuff, bye-bye. Well, if that client has a net worth of $100,000, the trial lawyer goes, well, okay, whatever. When they have $500 million and they walk out your office, you go, maybe I ought to think something about this collaborative law. And that happens all over. And so, you know, it doesn't matter what your motive is. If you're a business firm, you know, if you want to stay in the family law business, you better have you a collaborative lawyer, and a good one, because people are coming. And that's why this movement is just, it doesn't, you know, this is good, we need to do more of this, but clients are hearing about it, and the demand is going to drive the change. Not us. The demand from clients is going to drive the change. The question is, are litigators against collaborative law because you don't make as much money in a collaborative case as you do in a litigation case? Certainly could be. You know, there's no doubt. You know, I went to law school because I was going to change the world. My wife went to law school because she grew up poor and wanted a good job and wanted to help people. But wanted a good career that you make money in. And there's nothing wrong. That's America. There's nothing wrong with that. And so there are lawyers out there whose primary motivation to be in the practice of law may be to feed their families. And it's economic. It's not altruistic at all. Or maybe it is a bunch or little or what have you, but they need to feed their families. And there's no doubt that a lawyer can make more money in contested, no kidding, go get them sick on litigation than you can in a collaborative case, no doubt. And I have, I keep a few statistics around here where I work. And in 2007, I had 2 heavily litigated cases. One of them, we had a jury trial in it over financial issues only, and it was the first of what would have probably been 3 jury trials in this one divorce case. We had a lot of summary judgments and hearings on this, hearings on this, so we were at the courthouse a lot. I had another case, similar, no jury trial, but lots of courtroom stuff, summary judgments, motions, lots of heavy rotation litigation. So I had those 2 cases. And at the time, this is 2007, when I got finished with those, and the ironic thing is both of those litigation cases settled. So they didn't even go for the full ride. But when those cases settled, I was just fiddling around one day, and I looked at the fees that my clients had paid me, our firm, from those 2 litigation cases. And I have kept, statistics on all the collaborative cases that I've done, because we're doing all this reporting and all that. And I looked at the fees that at the time my 42 collaborative clients had paid me. And here's what I found. The fees from those 2 litigation cases looked like this. The fees from those 42 collaborative cases looked like this. So for the price of 2 heavy rotation litigation cases, we had resolved 42 collaborative cases. In those 42 cases, average net worth involved in those 42 cases, and I had to throw out the big one to keep it from getting to $5.5 million. So they're not little cases. And that told me a bunch. It told me, number one, my clients are getting a great deal. If you can avoid the courthouse and the heavy go-at-it litigation. But as a businessman, it told me if I want to make my living doing collaborative law, then I need to get good at it, so I get lots of cases. I need to go tell people about it. I need to educate the public about it so that I've got cases coming in. I would rather, and my income hadn't gone down, it's rocked along the same since I've become a collaborative lawyer. And I'm making more money now than I did in 2003 or whatever it was, 2 maybe when I started. My income has not suffered because of my collaborative practices. I still do litigation though, so I have, at any one time I might have 1 or 2 litigation cases going on. But the majority of my cases are collaborative now. And you just got to do more of them if you want to make a living. That's the simple part of that. Because that's just the facts. And it's a message to lawyers. It's a message to the clients. It's a message to everybody. You have to look at all that.